Welcome to RealQuickMedia. I'm Dr. Q. Today we continue coverage of the explosive defamation case between rapper Megan Thee Stallion and blogger Milagro Gramz, currently underway in Miami. I'm breaking down the filing that sits at the heart of this entire lawsuit, defamation per se, and how the testimony in court this week directly confirmed every category the judge identified. In my full documentary, I told you that defamation per se covers statements that the law automatically considers harmful. This filing spells out exactly which of Milagro's statements fall into that category and why. In that memo, Megan's team argues that under Florida law, when a statement is defamatory per se, like accusing someone of criminal conduct or attacking their basic competence, the law presumes harm. So she doesn't have to prove she lost money first. Damage to reputation, mental anguish, and humiliation are all assumed. Milagro Cooper, who was on stand for hours yesterday, based most of her commentary on the belief that Megan lied about being shot by Tory Lanez. The question for the jury is whether those beliefs were presented as opinion or as statements of fact that fall into defamation per se. In court, Milagro's core defense was that she was exercising her First Amendment right to an opinion. She told the jury she deeply disbelieved Megan's story and described the details as shaky. She talked about growing up in a difficult environment where she saw Black men wrongfully convicted and said that experience made her extra skeptical of the state's narrative in the Tory Lanez case. But that sits directly next to the defamation per se filing, which points out that accusing someone of committing a felony like perjury is defamation per se. Under Florida law, you can't shield that behind "it was just my opinion" if you present it as fact. And one of the most emotional moments on the stand, when asked if she would feel bad if she found out Megan truly was shot, Milagro almost broke into tears. It was reported that she said, "I would feel terrible. I wish I believed her. I wish I believed her. I would bow down and apologize. My mom was in and out of jail, but I don't. I don't. I wish I believed her, but I don't." That's powerful emotionally, but legally, it underlines the issue. For years, she didn't just not believe Megan. She told her audience that Megan lied under oath, which is accusing her of a felony. That's exactly the kind of statement the filing says the law treats as automatically harmful. To show the tone and context of these statements, Megan's lawyer, John O'Sullivan, played clips from Milagro's live streams. In those clips, Milagro called Megan the following expletives featured on the screen. She also repeatedly questioned whether Megan had a mental illness or drinking problem. So, when you connect the filing to what was played in court, you get three defamation per se pillars. She lied under oath, which is perjury, criminal conduct. She's unstable, needs help. That's mental fitness and capacity. She's drunk, high, unreliable. Impairment used to explain lying. All three are in the filing's legal categories, and all three showed up in her streams and in the courtroom. Then the case moved from what she said to why she said it. O'Sullivan tried to argue that Milagro was not just a distant commentator, but aligned with Tory's family by highlighting her connection to Tory's father, Sunstar Peterson. On the stand, Milagro confirmed receiving $3,000 in six payments from Sunstar. She said it was for her and her daughter's birthdays and for promoting his podcast. She also described him as a father figure. They exchanged text messages that expressed "I love yous" and deep care. During cross-examination, Megan's legal team pressed Milagro about her relationship to Tory Lanez, including whether he had ever featured her in a song. When she admitted he had, at least her name, the lawyers played a clip of Milagro bragging about it on Stationhead. The courtroom heard Milagro celebrating the moment as a blessing, not just a casual mention. This became key to Megan's argument that Milagro wasn't a neutral commentator, but someone who aligned herself publicly with Tory and benefited from that proximity. Then the legal roadblock came. The judge noticed she can only understand maybe 80% of what was being said, and the jury was confused enough to ask who Tory Lanez and Daystar even were. And most importantly, the court ordered an adverse inference instruction because Milagro deleted 20,000 text messages and four messages between her and Sunstar were also deleted. An adverse inference means the jury is told they can assume those deleted messages were unfavorable to Milagro and would have helped Megan's side. That instruction sits right next to the defamation per se analysis. It goes to credibility and intent. She isn't just saying, "I'm not sure what happened." She's using her interpretation to support a narrative that Megan lied, exaggerated, or falsified being shot, a narrative she had pushed repeatedly as fact. And then enters the witness list I mentioned in my documentary: DJ Academics, Aiden Ross, and Joe Budden, all of whom she says also called Megan a liar and have huge platforms. And that's why she, with around 40,000 followers, is the one being sued. That might resonate emotionally, but legally, it doesn't change much. Defamation law doesn't require Megan to sue everyone who harmed her. It only requires her to prove that Milagro's statements were false, injurious, and presented as facts, which is exactly what the defamation per se filing is designed to argue. Milagro's testimony shows a consistent, if controversial, defense. She does not believe Megan, and she insists her content was just her opinion. But the filings, and the way the evidence came in, tell a sharper story. Accusing someone of lying under oath, suggesting they're mentally unfit or unstable, framing them as drunk or impaired to explain why they lied, doing it in front of a large audience, while tied into a network of support, money, and admiration from the opposing side, and deleting tens and thousands of messages along the way. Well, those are exactly the kinds of statements and circumstances that defamation per se is built to handle. The trial now moves to Megan's testimony, where we'll see how those defamatory themes connect to emotional distress, career damage, and lost deals like the Google partnership. More updates coming soon. Please be sure to like, comment, and share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next drop.